Well, g'day, curd nerds. G'day, curd nerds. Well, 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 g'day, curd nerds, and welcome to the show. This is Ask the Cheeseman 162. The producer's just coming out of the bedroom. She's not at her computer yet, so we won't have anybody, so all the naughty people can be naughty. Anyway, Merry Christmas. Well, it's not quite Christmas yet. I've got the hat on. This is where you can ask your home cheese making questions. Whew, what a week it's been. I've been busily making cheese videos. And you would have seen, I think I released it on Friday, the what did I call it? The Great Cypriot Cheese Fry-Off, which was great fun. I was approached by Made by Cow, and they offered some milk to me and to sponsor the video. So that was fantastic fun. And we made some fantastic halloumi style, if you can say that, style cheese. Halloumi is not a PDO cheese, so it's no big deal. But I thought I'd carry on the gag a little bit longer, and that's why I called it the Great Cypriot Cheese, frying cheese. So, yeah, it was all cool. Okay, big thank you to all my YouTube members who financially support the show. It's all fantastic. Your continuing support is so much welcome, keeps the show running. And a big thank you goes out to new patrons this week. Paul Croft, thank you, Paul. And Nathan DG, thank you, Nathan, for your kind patronage. And same thing goes to all the patrons who financially support the show as well. Absolutely fantastic. And keeps the lights on here at Curd Nerd Central. Okay. For those who don't know, this is me. Gavin Weber, head curd nerd, and we're going to do some cheese stuff. Now, a little bit of housekeeping before we go. Before we start, this is the last live stream before Christmas Day, which is on the 25th, because next weekend we're going to pick up something. I'm not going to spoil the surprise, but we're going for a road trip down. Where is it? It's near Phillip Island, which is about 3 hours away from us driving. We're going to pick up a surprise. The next show will be on the 27th of December, my time, which could be, well, your time, it could be the 26th, could be Boxing Day. So that's when the next show will be. Now, upcoming cheese videos being released on Monday morning, my time, is a cheese I've called the Christmas Fruit Cake Cheese. Absolutely delicious, worth the make. So yeah, that'll be fun. And then I've got another video that it's in post-production, which is better quick mozzarella. So I've had so many questions over the years around quick mozzarella and how to make it. And the first video that I made, which went kind of viral, was indeed the how to make quick mozzarella, but I left out a step in it. So hopefully people have managed to make it all right. I left one of the temperatures out, and yeah, strange thing, the quality was absolutely pretty crappy. So I fixed that, managed to fix that up, and yeah, it'll be a pretty good video. Alrighty, we will be having a cheese gallery at 8:30 my time, or 30 minutes past the hour, wherever you live. And we've got a few good-looking cheeses to show. So let's get on and say some hellos from when the stream started. T4, g'day. Corey, Sticks, Marcia, g'day, Marcia. And we'll get to your questions soon. Winwolf Alpha, g'day, mate. How are you? TPC, g'day. How are you, Tony? Janie, I think that's how you say it. G'day, Janie. How are you? Friedrich, g'day, Friedrich. Lovely to see you on the show again. Felicia, g'day, Felicia. We'll get to your question in a minute. Mera Doku, who's the guy with hair in the waiting graphic? Oh, that's me. Many years ago. Rachel, g'day, Rachel. Lovely to see you. Merry Christmas to you. RY, g'day, mate. Vern, g'day, Vern. Also got Patricia, g'day, Patricia. Lovely to see you, as always. Carolyn, hello, Carolyn. We'll get to your question. Yusuf, g'day, Yusuf. Who else? Michael, g'day, Michael. Neil, Nicola, g'day, Nicola. Lovely to see you all the way from Central Europe. Sandro, g'day, mate. What else we got? Megan, g'day, Megan. And La, I think that's how you say it. Leonardo and Angela, I think that'll do. There you go. Thanks, everybody, for joining the stream. We've currently got 79 people live, which is great. All righty. So let's get on to the first question. Well, the first question is from Corey. And Corey says, how's the wife doing? She's doing pretty good. In fact, I don't know if she's in the chat yet. So I can't really tell, but yeah, she's doing well. She's got 3 more treatments of the targeted therapy for her breast cancer to go. And after that, well, you can't really tell if you're in remission or not. They don't tend to do follow-up scans or anything like that, but she will be going to the oncologist every 3 months for the next God knows how many years, and also seeing her breast surgeon specialist every 6 months. So she's going to be in good hands, good follow-up aftercare. So, yeah, thanks for asking that question, Corey. A question from Marcia. Marcia says, hi, I do have a question. How do you clean your cheese cave? Thanks in advance. Well, I tend to once every couple of months, usually about 2, maybe 3 months, depends on the smell. Basically what I do is I take all the cheese out, obviously take all the racks out, any trays that are in there, pull all the bits out, go and wash those with hot soapy water. Wash the sides and bottom and top and anything else in there with hot soapy water as well. And then give it a good spray with white vinegar, just with a squirty bottle, and let all that dry, and then put the cheese back in. And it's only the cheese is only out of the fridge for about an hour, so it's no big deal. And then put all the bits back in. And then usually it smells a lot better than what it was, because there's so many funky bacteria in there now. And yeah, the white vinegar dampens down any mold growth. So that works very well. Great question. Thank you. Let's have a look. Another question from Janie, I think that's how you say it. Sorry. After 2 years of my cheese not turning out, I now pasteurizing milk. It's turning out buttermilk and yogurt too, but more work, but worth it. Yeah, definitely. Standardized milk, standard for a kind of a reason, and that's so you get consistency in flavor and taste and texture and all that sort of stuff. When we have raw milk from different herds, yeah, you tend to get all sorts of different protein contents, fat contents, and you know, even though they've been making cheese for thousands and thousands of years, yeah, cheesemakers, if they don't know their own herd, then yeah, you come into issues. But yeah, I'm glad it's all working out for you. Next question is from Felicia. Felicia says, "Hi, how to make brine for bocconcini?" Bocconcini is pretty easy. So you make well, basically it's mozzarella, and bocconcini just means little balls. So you just use a normal, I'd use a 10% brine solution. Let me think, where's the recipe for that? Kim, if you're on there somewhere, I'm not sure if you are, please put up the link for the I think it's called Real Greek Feta, and there's a 10% brine solution there. Make sure you add the calcium chloride and the white vinegar to balance the pH of the brine, so the bocconcini doesn't go slimy. So hopefully that'll help out. Okay. Good suggestion from Patricia. Hello from chilly Halifax, Nova Scotia. It must be getting pretty cold there by now, Patricia. And she says, hit the thumbs up button. So if you haven't already, don't forget to hit the like button, and that helps out the YouTube algorithm and people can find the show. Thank you, Patricia. Appreciate it. Carolyn says, my last few batches of cheese have been bitter. What could cause that? Bitterness is caused typically by a couple of things. Not enough salt in the cheese, and the second thing is it's not either not aged long enough. Most of the time it's people don't put enough salt into the cheese. So yeah, that's the main cause for bitterness in longer aged cheeses. Okay, Rachel says that we love the style. It's just, you know, it's just a hat I got from the $2 shop. Yeah, anyway, I think it looks cool. Question from Michael says, saw the video early in the week where the goat's cheese was being coated in charcoal dust. Never heard of that before. Yeah, typically goats' milk cheeses tend to be a little bit more acidic, and therefore Geotrichum and Penicillium candidum find it difficult to establish on the outside of the cheese. So that's why we use ash. I think the French were the French and the Swiss were the first ones to discover this many years ago. What it does, it neutralizes the surface of the cheese, because ash is alkaline in nature. And reduces the pH. Sorry, it reduces the pH. No, increases the pH more towards 7, where it's neutral. And then the Geotrichum and Penicillium candidum can then actually grow properly. So that's why you add it. Good question though, or observation. Neil says, Merry Christmas, Gavin and Kim. Keep on keeping on, mate. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you, Neil. Who's next? All right, next one is from Janie again. Does milk need to be at a certain temperature for rennet to work? Yes. Milk needs to be around about, in most cases, around between 30 and 33 degrees Celsius for it to work most effectively. Now, it will work in those really soft cheeses where you bring the temperature of the milk up to about room temperature, 21, 22 degrees Celsius. But that works over a long, long period of time. You're talking 12, 18 hours for the curd to set. Whereas if you want it to set properly, in a hard cheese, even mold-ripened cheeses, then yeah, it needs to be around between 30 and 33. I've seen it up to 35 in some recipes. It just means the whey expels a little bit faster the higher the temperature. But that's when rennet works most efficiently. So hopefully that answers your question. Okay. Sandro, I think he's asked the same question about the bitter taste. Yeah, so not enough salt. So there you go. That'll fix that. Here's a big question from Rachel. Oh, it's all fitting into, nearly almost fitting in. Rachel says, question, if you were to make a cheese with the cheddar method but using Flora Danica instead of mesophilic, what do you think will end up with after shrink wrapping for a month or 3? I fancy an experiment. Good question, Rachel. What will happen? You'll get some gas production and you may even get some eyes in the cheese. There's 2 extra starter cultures within Flora Danica that normal standard mesophile doesn't have. One creates a buttery flavor in the cheese, so it'll change the taste of the cheese, and the other one creates gas. So CO2, it'll create little eye pockets. So it won't be a cheddar. It'll be more like an Alpine style, but with Flora Danica. And you may even get some mold growth because typically cheeses made with Flora Danica tend to be very receptive to mold, I suppose. Anyway. All righty, cool. I hope that answers your question. Megan says, well, no chat next Sunday. Will be weird. Gotten used to Sunday morning ritual of cheesy chat. Hope you have a wonderful trip. It's going to be very exciting, Megan. No, I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag because those who don't follow the vlog channel, it's just called Gavin Weber Vlogs. There will be something on the vlog channel announcing what we're doing, where we're going, and all that sort of stuff. So that'll be a lot of fun. And we've got our first super chat of the day. Thank you so much to Karen, and we'll get your super chat up on there we go, up on the screen. Thank you, Karen. Does the cheese that cannot be mentioned have a different texture than Parmigiano Reggiano? Slightly. They're very similar cheeses, very similar indeed. If you got a piece of Parmesan and a piece of Grana cheese side by side and did a blind taste test, it'd be very difficult to tell the difference. So the texture's very similar. They're both grainy, hard Italian cheeses. So no, you really can't tell any difference. But that's that's what it is. They're made in different areas of Italy, but they're very similar cheeses. I hope nobody gets too upset about that answer, but that's just the way I think it is. Anyway, we've got a new YouTube member in the chat. Aaron, thank you, Aaron, for becoming a member. That's absolutely fantastic. And I can't show it in my little restream thingo. It's not showing up, but thank you very much, Aaron. Okay, let's get back to where we left off, if I can remember. That's the hard bit. We get so many questions, which is great. And it's good to see Kim in the chat. There we go. And I'll just put that up there. Kim has said, thank you, everybody. As with most breast cancer treatment, you are under the radar for the next 5 years. Gavin and I decided to just live one day at a time and make the most of it. Indeed, we have. Thank you, darling. That's really lovely. But yeah, and that's what we do, basically. Okay. Let's have a look. I did see my cheesy friend. Question from Rachel on Facebook says, fun Christmas question. How long before you up sticks and buy your own cows? Never, Rachel. There are so many good milk producers here in Australia. Why would I go to all that trouble, honestly? For those who don't know and haven't bought Keep Calm and Make Cheese, The Beginner's Guide to Cheese Making Home. The backstory is I grew up on a dairy farm. One of my jobs was shoveling cow shit, basically. That was my job every day, morning and night, before I went to school and when I came home from school. So much fun. So I have fond memories of living on a dairy farm. I know all the dirty bits of it. Yeah, Dad was in charge of the milking shed and all that sort of stuff, of course. But yeah, no, I won't be getting any. We won't be moving or getting any dairy cows anytime soon. Okay, question from Sandro, and Sandro says, I'm doing a double brie, but after an hour, the curd is not firm. Is it right? Ooh, after an hour. Look, wait another 30 minutes. It won't hurt, that's for sure. Hopefully your milk's okay. Hopefully the rennet's good. Hopefully the acidification's okay. But yeah, wait another 30 minutes, Sandro, and hopefully that'll work for you. Angela, it's your first time on the live stream. G'day, Angela. Lovely to see you. Nice that you could come and join us at the Curd Nerd Chatty session. It's great. Thank you. So many people on. It's great. Here's a question from Muiayad. I'm sorry if I got that wrong, but hi, how are you? I hope you're well. I wonder if it's okay to use UV or ozone to stop mold in cheese fridge. I probably wouldn't go that extreme. It might kill off the mold, but I wouldn't tend to use ozone. That's for sure. It's more used in water purification than anything else. Some molds are good, so I wouldn't do anything too bad. Okay. T4 asks, how big is my cheese cave? My cheese cave, if Kim can find the video of, I think it's called What's in My Cheese Cave, and you'll see a picture of my fridge there. So Kim will show that. Megan McIntyre has another question. Says, do you know of any alternative places I can buy a curd harp in Australia? The lovely ones you link on Etsy says they won't post to Australia, and I really like one similar to yours. Speaking of curd harps, hang on, I'll get rid of that so we can see my face again. There it is. Speaking of curd harps, and I know Steve's on the show, I received, and I won't show that, I received a package from Steve Benz. Let's do an unboxing video. Oh, it's like unboxing therapy, but different. We have, and this is something I'm going to show in a video, and Steve's giving me a link to. Oh, sorry. Oh, he's giving me a link to his store to promote it, and oh, that looks lovely. So far, that's what I've got. Hang on. So this is his new stainless steel curd harp. Let's just get into this. Worst unboxing video ever. Oh, he's put a piece of wood in it. Oh, I see. Right, that's to stop it from flexing and stuff. I think it's just for the packaging. All right, there we go. Very well packaged too. That's lovely. Oh, but my scissors, I haven't got my special scissors given to me by Kevin, so I've just got these crappy stationary scissors. Come on. Rightio, there we go. Right, that's on the trusty bin that is the floor. Look at that. That is magnificent. And thanks for the bit of wood. I'll use that. Right. Can we zoom away? There we go. So it's got a plastic handle at the top. It's all stainless steel construction. Looks absolutely superb craftsmanship. And oh, the wires are very tense. So I'm pretty sure that Steve now ships overseas. So I will advertise the link in the community page, you know, when I send out those little things that pop up in your feed. So yeah, we'll do that. And yeah, so I'm pretty sure he's shipping to Australia now. So stainless steel one. Not sure what the price is. Obviously, because it's a sturdier construction and it's all stainless steel. The wires are spaced, looks like about 1 centimeter apart, or 1.25, which is half an inch. So I think that's perfect. And that's exactly how my other Kurt harps are. But yeah, easier to sanitize as well, being stainless steel. So great job, Steve. Well done, mate. Really, oh, there we are. Great job, Steve. Thank you very much. And that'll feature in a video very soon. All right, Daniel's got a question. Daniel says, what is the rough size of the square feta molds you use? I know they are tapered, but just wondering what size they are. Okay, let's go and have a look, shall we? New window, put it over here. We're going to Little Green Workshops, and let's hope this works. Oh, incognito. What's going on? Yes. Come on, Little Green Workshops. Where are you? Slowest website on the planet. Anytime. Obviously, my shop is not working. What's going on here? Anyway, I'll get rid of that and we'll get back to me. Yeah, I'll investigate that in a second. It's just not playing the game. Yeah, that's very strange. I'm not going to troubleshoot that on the stream, but yeah, is it going to work now? No, must be down. Goodness me, that's not good. Can't sell any cheese stuff if my website's not working. Let's see if the other one's working. Nothing. Browse. Oh, there we go. That works. All right, that's a start. Let's have a look. Will this one work now?
Everything's down, even if we can't even get onto the server online.
Okay, yeah?
No, so to do it afterwards.
Oh, okay. Kim's, everything's down. I don't know what Kim's talking about, but everything, as in could be the whole internet. But it looks like the stream's still working, so that's a good thing. Obviously, we're having some internet issues. But yeah, anyway, moving right along. Next question. So I think it's about 14 centimeters across, 14 centimeters high. I don't know what the taper goes down to, about maybe 10. So hopefully that answers your question, Daniel. Got a question from Jonathan. Jonathan says, I accidentally doubled up on the salt in the kefili. Do I now have an inert lump of rubberized milk, or will it still be edible? It may be very salty. Kefili is a very salty cheese anyway, but I'd persevere with it and see what happens. If worse comes to worse, what you can do, depends on how far down the track you've gone, you can actually soak the cheese in milk and then let it so soak it in milk for about 2 hours, and that'll take some of the salt out of it. Yeah, you can do that, and that'll help it out. Okay. Stick says, do I still buy any cheeses from the supermarket? Yes, we do. And the main reason being is I like to try different flavors. I always find that the question that I always come up with is, how can I make cheeses that are different all the time? Because I always like to make different cheeses. How can I do that if I haven't tried the vast palette of cheeses that are out there? So yeah, that's what I do. Yeah, let's have a look. Joseph says, how did you get raw milk? Here in Australia, there's a product called, there's a company called Made by Cow. that produces, well, they call it raw milk. It's actually been pasteurized by another process that's not heat treatment. It's called cold pressed. Yeah, there's a link to that in the latest Cypriot cheese. So yeah, it's that's how I get raw milk. Other than that, it's illegal here to get them from the dairy and stuff like that. Okay. Next question is from Friedrich, and he says, is it okay to ripen cheeses of different mold types, as in Brevibacteria linens, Penicillium candidum, Rogue 40, in different containers in the same fridge? Yes, you shouldn't have any trouble, long as you keep the lids on them, of course, and there's no mold escapes between the different ones. You should be right, Friedrich. And that is the alarm for the cheese gallery. So that's looking a bit funky. Hang on. There we go. That's a bit better. Let's bring up we'll get rid of the message. Bring up spotlight. There we go. There I am. Okay. So this first cheese, and Kim always expects there to be some music behind this, but there's no music. Sorry about that, honey. This one's from California Jones is his handle on YouTube. And he's made here, this is a 2-year-old goat milk Romano. And I tell you what, doesn't that look fantastic? Very hard, very crumbly. He said it tastes absolutely fantastic. So a great looking cheese from California. The next cheese is from California as well. And this is a ale brined Trappist cheese with orange peel and coriander in the middle. And he said the flavor was to be tried. He reckons it was really, really good. Those combinations of the orange peel and the coriander in the middle, it looks kind of like a Morbier, but without the ash. But yeah, looks really, really nice. So that's very cool. Well done. Thank you for the 2 cheese pictures, California. So the next one is from Daniel, who I think is in the chat today. I think I saw him. He's made a Borson using the style that I made. Looks like it was very firm. It didn't sag at all. Got a little note here. I think I'll just read it out. Where is it? No, that's from the wrong person. Daniel said to me, okay, so this is a Borson, first cheese he ever made. Happy to report the cheese was a complete success, gave a good yield. From 2 litres of whole milk, he obtained 440 grams of well-drained cream cheese after the 2.5 hours draining. Final result was 2 cheeses of 280 grams each. The molds he used were 90 millimeter internal diameter open cylinders. They were way too tall for this amount of cheese, but still managed to put a paper circle on top and flatten the tops. The milk was from a local Ayrshire or Ayrshire pedigree cows from a local farm, and he doesn't know the protein content of the milk. It was low temperature pasteurized, non-homogenized, so it gave good result. Well done indeed, Daniel. So that's a fantastic looking cheese, and I can see cool looking dude on the milk bottle. One way to promote it. This is from Friedrich, and this is Friedrich's first hard cheese. It's a queso fresco style, so really it's a softish cheese. Let's have a look. What did Friedrich had something to say here? He said he went back into his archives 18 months ago when he made his very first hard-pressed cheese. It was queso fresco based on my recipe. It was the beginning of a long journey, 50 cheeses ago for me. Well done. Didn't have the right mold size, so I stacked 2 soft cheeses together to make a follower. The press, there we go, there's the press, was a keg of beer weighing 16 kilos as per your recipe with beer inside. The balancing act was was quite an adventure, and he had to strap the thing with ropes all over his dining room to avoid the 6-hour press and it falling over. The result was a 550 gram cheese, not my best, but my first. And the first is always one you remember, isn't it? That's the end of the gallery. Fantastic. Thank you, Friedrich, Daniel, and who was the first one for? California, for sending in your pictures. Absolutely fantastic. And hope all of the curd nerds get inspired by those cheeses that we show every week here on the show. Okay, let's have a look. Yeah, what are the here's a question. What time is it? It's 8:34, and I'm 15 minutes behind on the question. If you've got a burning question, I don't know if I'm going to get through them all. Then you can do a super chat if you want, and I will get to your question straight away. And the curd nerd light will go off as well. Okay, this question is from where the heck is it? Oh, there we go. Rudalicia, I think that's how you say it. What are the best cheeses to put in a mac and cheese? Well, typically people put in cheddar. I do think that if you put in something like Gruyere and maybe raclette, you'll get a much tastier mac and cheese. That's just my opinion from the times I've tried and tasted those. So, yeah, try those two cheeses in your mac and cheese and let me know what you think. This one's from John, and John says, I'm looking at making a batch of mozzarella and halloumi soon. First time making cheese, but I'm struggling to find a non-homogenized milk in the UK. Is it possible to make it with homogenized milk? Yes, it is. It is indeed. You will need to add calcium chloride to help out. With all pasteurized milk, you will need to add calcium chloride for both of those. It's not so much the homogenization process. The homogenization process, all they do is they break up the fat globules by pushing the milk at extreme pressure through a sieve, very fine mesh sieve, and it breaks up the fat globules of the milk and it stops the cream from floating to the top. They say it's better for you, but I don't believe that because it makes the fat easier to digest in cow's milk. But for cheesemakers, it's terrible because it really does wreck the structure of the milk for cheese making. But yeah, look, you can make those two cheeses with homogenized milk, no problems at all. I've done it myself. And they both worked out. Connie says, I would stay and listen, but we are off to the Hunter Valley this morning. You could always listen to it on your phone on the way there, Connie, if you want to. But yeah, have fun in the Hunter Valley, which is around Newcastle way in New South Wales. Mark says, can you see this question? Yes, I can. Thank you, Mark. I just haven't got to the other ones yet, if you've done one already. Stick says, when you are taking the temperature, where in the pot should you measure? Top, bottom, middle, or outside lumps of the curd? I always tend to measure it in the middle. So when I put the, you see, when I put the Thermopen thermometer in there, the red one that I have with the big display so you can see the temperature on camera, I tend to put it in the middle if I can. And that's the best place. But I'm always stirring it when I'm measuring the milk, so you get a better average temperature, if that makes sense. So I hope that helps, Sticks. Yeah, and Daniel says, in the middle while stirring. Very good reply there, Daniel. Okay, Judy says, spoke a few weeks ago about Gorgonzola-style type cheese with very dark mold and slimy surface. Yesterday, it split in half and had a spongy interior. Oh, that's no good at all. Sounds like your cheese may have been early blown. If it smells a little bit funkier than what a blue cheese normally does, I wouldn't eat it, Judy, honestly. It could have been infected. The milk could have been infected up the front. So that's no good at all. Oh, we've got another super chat here. I'll just get rid of the light there. Let's see if I can find it all the way down the bottom. It's from Ken. Thank you, Ken, for your kind $5 super chat. Ken says, in Korea, they have this brown cheese they put on desserts like waffles and ice cream. Are you familiar with this? Curious what it is. I'm not sure, but I'll have to do some research. I have not heard of that style of cheese. It's a brown cheese. It sounds very similar to well, the only thing I could think of that may be similar that I've done myself is a mysost with lots of cream in it, and it makes it really smooth, and it's a very sweet whey cheese. That's the only thing I can think of there, Ken. But yeah, thanks for your super chat. Sorry I couldn't help you out there, really. But I will do some research and I'll have a look and see what I can come up with. Okay, where did I get to? All the way back. God, I'll tell you what, so much going on here. Okay. Rudy Lucia says, is it possible to make homemade vegetarian rennet? It's easy to buy, really. But yeah, you can use things like fig sap. So if you've got a fig tree, the white sap, you can use that. That works well. What else works well? If you can get thistles, then that works as well. The flour, you can soak that in water. And we've got another super chat going on. Thank you very much. This is from Jim Jackson, who says, Gavin Weber, you look really jolly today. Hope you and Kim are doing well this week. Thank you, Jim. We are indeed. And thank you for your kind $5 US super chat. I really appreciate it. Okay, so back to the questions again, if I can find out where we are. I'm not going to get to them all, I can tell. We've got 20 minutes to go, and I've obviously got a website that I have to fix, maybe. Where are we? This one's from Cosman. Greetings from Transylvania near Romania, I think. Romania? Could be. Hope I didn't get that wrong. I'm buying water buffalo milk to make blue cheese. Which of your recipes do you think is good for this fatty, creamy milk? Ooh, I would try. Let me think. Try my Stilton recipe, because I actually added extra cream to make the milk a bit fattier. It won't be like a Stilton, which is a lot drier, but yeah, try that, Cosman. Use that recipe. And Kim, if you can find the Stilton recipe and pop the link up there for Cosman, that would be fantastic. Sticks with another question. What would work as a cheat to make cheese appear to be matured by mixing some extra mature grating cheese into the curds before pressing? Yeah, you could do that, but why would you? Yeah, people do that. They mix all sorts of stuff in. I don't know if it'll work. Might do. It might accelerate the curds. Might make them ripen a bit quicker. Might not too. Don't know. I haven't tried it, so I couldn't tell. Greg has a question. Says, hi, I've had a problem with my Stiltons developing bee linens like a washed rind cheese after a few months. They're still blue, but why does the bee linens take over? Give it enough time. Main reason the bee linens will take over is because the surface is just right. It sounds like bee linens always takes over when the surface is too wet, too moist. It likes a good moist surface, whereas Penicillium roqueforti 40 does not like a moist surface. It likes a drier surface. So that could be it. Also, make sure that you're washing your ripening boxes and whatever else comes in contact with the cheese. Sanitize it correctly, because bee linens is a persistent little mold. And it will take over. Give it any chance. If you don't, get into all the nooks and crannies in your ripening boxes and the mats and all that sort of stuff. When I have a really bad outbreak of bee linens in the cheese fridge in a ripening box, what I'll do next time I wash the ripening box, I'll put it in the dishwasher on the top shelf, wash it thoroughly there, and then I'll soak it in a weak bleach solution. So I think I use about 20 mils of bleach, just normal household bleach, and put that in 2 liters of water, and then soak the stuff in the bleach solution, and that tends to kill all molds. Make sure you wash it off thoroughly with clean tap water. You don't want the bleach in there. There's another product that a lot of dairy producers use, and it's called Idafor. You can make an Idafor wash in a big tub with some solution, and that'll kill off any molds as well. So that works. Okay, question from TPC says, it's from Tony, sorry. If my cheese cave is set at 55 Fahrenheit for some cheeses, but I'm aging a Swiss that needs around 45, am I better aging it with the others at 55 or putting in my kitchen fridge at 38 Fahrenheit? I'm not a big fan of Fahrenheit, but I know what you're talking about. So 55 is about 13. 45 is about 7, and 38 is 4 degrees Celsius for everybody else. Look, I think I set my cheese fridge average at about 11 degrees Celsius. So all cheeses seem to ripen at that. The temperature fluctuates between 13 and down to about 10. It's just the way the external thermostat kind of works. So that seems to work for me. And most of my cheeses are all matured at that temperature, between 11 and 13. So I wouldn't sweat it too much. I think it'll work. Okay. Kevin said he just joined the chat and he's in the process, in the tenacious phase of stirring the Caciocavallo. Well done, Kevin. It's a cheese of passion, that's for sure. It's good fun. Oh, we got another super chat there. Thank you very much. And this one's from Karen. Thank you, Karen. Appreciate it. Karen says, I made your ricotta with fresh raw goat's milk, very tough and dry. Please advise if I use cow's whey and fresh goat's milk. Ooh, okay. Very tough. So the ricotta is tougher if you add more acid. So what I tend to do, and when I used to teach the ricotta, how to make ricotta in my cheese course, is that we add, I think it's about 2 tablespoons of vinegar. But what I do is I add it a little bit at a time. So I'll add, 2 tablespoons is, what's that? 6 teaspoons. So I add a teaspoon at a time, tell the student to stir it, see what it looks like, and then add another teaspoon, stir it, see what it looks like, and do it that way. And then you can see, soon as it splits, that's it. Don't go any further. The more acid you add to your ricotta, the more rubbery it becomes, and it's quite ordinary. So yeah, that hopefully that answers your question. Karen, you said, please, if you use cow's whey and fresh goat's milk, yeah, that'll work as well. But yeah, cool. Hope that answered your question, Karen. We've got another super chat there. This one's from Trainee, and Trainee has asked, thanks, any recommendations for a newbie cheese maker? Hang on, where is it? Sorry. For a newbie cheese, what should I try first? Kim's got a special link. Hopefully she's got it there somewhere, on beginner's cheeses to make without a cheese fridge, where I list about 6 or 7 different cheeses that you can start with, and hopefully cut your cheese making chops on that, and you shouldn't have too many troubles. But that is fantastic. Thank you very much, Trainee, for the kind super chat. Okay. Let's go back and find a question. I don't know if I'll get back to where I started again. Oh, let me have a look. Kevin says, do you ever do one-on-one FaceTime chats? No, I don't really. I don't do any consulting per se. I have in the past, but I've charged an arm and a leg, but the person still paid for it. So yeah, look, if you're really desperate, Kevin, we can do that, but I'll send you an invoice. I think last time I charged, I think it was about $100 US for an hour. But yeah, I really don't have the time in my day to do one-on-one consultations. But send me an email, let me know. But yeah. All right. Question from Marcia says, what do you control the humidity? Oh, how do you control the humidity inside the container when the cheese is aging? Basically, what I do in the first few days, the humidity is pretty high because there's a lot of whey in the bottom of the ripening box under the mat. If it's going to be aged for quite a while and you want the humidity quite high, what I'll do, I'll get a damp piece of paper towel, put that underneath the mat, and then sit the mat on top of that, and that creates enough moisture in the ripening box. But you really got to be wary that you go and check that at least twice a week, because what happens is condensation sits on the lid, and will sit on the lid of the ripening box, and if there's too much condensation, what happens is it starts to drip onto the cheese and make it all damp, and it's horrible. And we've got another super chat there, and this one's from Patricia. Patricia says, no question this time. Oh, I love your questions, Patricia. Just stay cheesy, stay safe, and have a Merry Christmas, Gavin and Kim. I'll see you on the next chat after Christmas. Thank you, Patricia. Really appreciate it. Kim hasn't started to give me the wind up, so we'll keep going with a few questions. But thanks, Patricia. I really appreciate the $5 Canadian there, which is almost the same as $5 Australian. Okay. Bruce did a little bit of research whilst I was on the chat. It says, according to Wikipedia, the Korean brown cheese is pretty much the same as my sauce. Oh, well, there you go. So that's answered the question. Thank you, Bruce, for your quick research there. I really appreciate it. Let's look for another question that I haven't answered yet. Pastor Sheldon Andreas says, Gavin, what will happen if I use full fat milk in my Parmesan cheese? Well, it'll turn into a Romano cheese. That's what it'll do. It'll be fuller in flavor, more body, more yield. But yeah, it'll taste like a Romano instead of a Parmesan, which is okay because Romano tastes very similar to Parmesan anyway. It's a grainy, hard Italian cheese by a different name. Okay. Question from Vizzy, I can't even pronounce it. It says, has Cheese and Desist already provided you with tickets and a 5-star hotel booking? You know what? Funny you should say that. No, they didn't. In fact, I didn't even get a response from that video, that second video that I put up, the one with the apology. I didn't even get a response by email from anybody from the consortium. So, yes, no, I don't have a ticket, fully paid, all expenses paid trip to the Padano region of Italy. So, no, it didn't happen. Which is a bit rich, seeing they called me a counterfeiter. Anyway, here's a question. Have you considered making any ancient cheeses, and could you do a collab video with Max from the Tasting History channel? Oh, that'd be interesting. Max Tasting History. Let's have a look. Just writing that down to have a look. That will be interesting. I will have a look and investigate further, but thank you very much for your question. Sticks says, Sticks has got lots of questions. My local supermarket sells fine mesh bags designed to be reusable vegetable bags that are great for straining curds. Do you think they will be suitable for pressing? Depends on how fine the mesh is, Sticks. The last thing you want is curds to be squeezed through the bits of mesh, because then you won't be able to get the bag off the cheese and it'll be there forever. So butter muslin's a lot. Oh, sorry, yeah. a loose weave cheesecloth is a lot tighter knit than what mesh in Aldi is. Okay. Next question. Here's a question, which is great. DC Frank says, can you flavour cheese with an alcohol such as whiskey or brandy? If so, what kind of cheese would it be best to flavour? Funny you should ask that, DC Frank, because the cheese that's going to be released on Monday, the video, has brandy in it. It's my Christmas fruit cake cheese. So you'll see when I put the brandy in, what I did with the dried fruit and all that sort of stuff. But yes, you can flavour it with alcohol. I've done a stout cheddar video as well, and that's been infused in stout. In fact, Kim, if you can find the link to that, pop that in the chat on Facebook for us. And while you're there, Kim, if you can find the Drunken Cow Cheese video link, then pop that in there as well. We've got 5 minutes to go. I'll pump out maybe one or two kinds of questions. Trainee's got another super chat there. Let's can I see it? There we go. It says, I tend to like Australian cheddar more than other kinds. Is that just me? It's probably just your taste buds. But yeah, it's Australian cheddar style cheeses. The really good ones are certainly on par with the ones they make in the UK. That's for sure. If you get a cheddar style cheese from, say, Bruny Island Cheesemaking Company in Tasmania, they're really good. The one that I got, the cloth banded one that had the mold all over it, that was very nice as well. I can't remember where we got it from. No, I can't pronounce the word. Starts with a P. Anyway, it was a great cheese. But yes, there you go. Okay, let's get rid of that. But thank you for the kind $5 super chat. Really appreciate it. Here we go. Question from Give Cheese a Chance. Says, my cheddar curds did not net together well enough even after pressing. What happened? Two things. The curds probably weren't warm. When you press them, they have to be warm when you make a cheddar. And you have to apply to a cheddar a lot of pressure to get it to work. So yeah, they're the two things with cheddar cheese. When you're making a cheddar style cheese, you really do have to keep the curds warm whilst you're cheddaring. And what I tend to do now is I put the curd slabs in a colander and put that over the hot whey, over the warm whey that I've retained when I've drained the cheese. And I just keep it warm at about 35 degrees Celsius, the whey that is, just on a really low heat, and then keep the curd slabs in the colander over the whey, and they tend to stay warm. And then when you press them, when you cut them in little fingers, and then you press them, they're warm and they knit together a lot better, especially in that initial first couple of pressings. So that works really well. Kim's given me the wind up, so I am going to show a couple of links. If you want to support the show, you can pop over to patreon.com, Grenier Gavin. That's my Patreon page. And if you want to go to the merch, they've changed it a bit. It's cheesemantv.myteespring.co, and that shows all of the merch. So all very cool. And that's, I think, everything. Like I said, no show next week. Hang on, I'll get rid of the caption so you can see my beautiful face. No show next week. We're going on a road trip. That'll be fun. If you want to see what's happening on the road trip, then pop over to my vlog channel. You can find that on YouTube. It's called Gavin Weber Vlogs. And you'll see what we're doing and what we've managed to pick up. I won't go any further, but Merry Christmas to everybody. If you celebrate Christmas, happy holidays for the rest of you. Have a good time off over the end of December break. Absolutely fantastic. And thank you, Megan, for your kind super chat. Yes, my sentiments. May it be safe. Merry Christmas to everybody and full of love. Yeah, thank you, Gavin and Kim, for all you do to help us Curd Nerds. I better kill the light. But yeah, thank you so much. And thank you, Megan, for your super chat. And Merry Christmas to one and all. I will see you on the 27th, my time. But before then, hopefully I should have 2 more videos released. So watch out for those. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do so and you'll get notified. And ring that little bell or you won't get notified at all. It's all very cool. If you like this live stream, don't forget to give a thumbs up if you haven't gone already. But thank you so much. I really do appreciate all of your questions, because without your questions, there really wouldn't be a show. All righty. Thanks for watching, Curd Nerds, and I will see you next time.